Oh, I'm exhausted from yesterday, but man, that was so much fun. Edinburgh has so much history. I'm ready to do it again. Ready to go? Let's go catch a train.
We are now approaching Drumchapel. Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
We were so worried about how to work the ticket machine yesterday. I didn't take a good look around yesterday. I smelled coffee. I didn't see a coffee cart yesterday, did you? Don't stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed. All right. I'll stop singing and embarrassing you. Man, so many people rushing around. I wonder if everyone's going to work or if they are off to an adventure too. Okay, let's stand outside to see if we can get our directions started. I don't want to get confused like yesterday. Where do you want to go first? You know what? It's going to be a long day. Did you remember your water bottle? I got a free one from the Instagram profile. Maybe they still have some. That way you don't have to worry about buying a water tomorrow. Here's the info. Oh, I know where we should go first. The heart of Midlothian. Does that sound okay? Did you know, this is kind of gross, but people come here and spit on it? Yeah, disgusting, I know. But it's because now it's said to be good luck, but originally it was to show disdain for the prison that used to be here. The entrance was right where the heart is. Yeah, apparently in the 15th century it was an old toll booth. It was an administrative center for the town, a prison, and one of several execution sites. I can't believe that was ever normal. I don't know about you, but I have a really hard time imagining being okay with that. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go to the next stop. Where to? Explore? Alright. Okay, these closes are kind of crazy. Some are tight and some have a ton of stairs. I'm kind of tired. Apparently this one was originally built for Sir William Grey of Pittendrum? Is that how you say that? An Edinburgh baronet, and was originally called Lady Grey's house. This close was. Some of these closes have some really crazy stories. Like Mary King's Close, which is underground. Ready to hear a spooky story? Well, maybe we should start with a little background about the closes first. So, in the 17th century, this city had a major problem with overcrowding. Imagine repeatedly getting attacked and people trying to overtake your land. That would be scary and frustrating. So they had to do something. What would you have done? Well, what they did was they built walls around the city to keep people out. But there was a problem with that. Those walls also kept people in. And then the population grew. Soon the number of places to live got fewer and fewer. Walking down the streets, there was no room to turn around, let alone do anything else. So what do you think they did? They built the city upwards, up to 8 stories high. The closest had gates, and they were locked at certain times each night to keep the undesirables out. Apparently, that's why the roads are so windy and confusing. That explains how we ended up stairs at the grass market yesterday when we didn't know how we got there. The rich lived up top because it got the most sunlight. The poor lived at the bottom, right alongside of the cattle and open sewers. Yeah, disgusting. Can you imagine trying to sleep with the smell of dirty cattle and raw sewage and the mooing? It gets worse. At certain times, there would be a warning cry, "Guardy-loo!" What do you think happened? Well, all those people on the floors above had to put their sewage somewhere throughout the day. So it was kept in buckets. And you guessed it, when the people heard "Guardy-loo," they better move or, yeah, absolutely disgusting, right? Mary King's Close was the rare close that didn't get demolished or redeveloped. In the 17th century, they were worried about losing trade, so built a new royal exchange. Small problem though. there were already streets and houses there. So they took off the top floors and used the lower floors for a foundation. Mary King's Close was covered over and swallowed up into the building's basement. You would think that would meant that it was abandoned, right? Oh no. Some residents didn't want to leave, so carried on running businesses in a half-buried, dark world. The last residents were saltmakers, who only left in 1902 because they were forced out. They sealed it, but in 2003 it was reopened to visitors after archaeologists and historians collected all the data they could find out what life was like there in the 17th century. Now, for the spooky story. If you think you might get scared, now's the time to back out. Why was Mary King's Close sealed? Because the bubonic plague outbreak was happening. Many infected were sealed off in this close, away from the rest of the world. They were left there to die. Okay, so that's just the myth. It was highly infected, but no unsuspecting victims were left there. But there is a legend of Annie. Some people have reported seeing her ghost and talking to her. She is a child who lived there and died from the plague. She is said to be looking for her lost doll. So now, many people have brought Annie gifts over the years. Let's find out some more history about underground Edinburgh. Ready to tour the streets underground? They said no one would jump out at us or anything. Some people have reported sightings of ghosts, but they have nothing to do with the tour company, so no jump scares or anything like that. Oh good, here's our tour guide. She says her name is Angelique, and she's from Germany. She tells us about what it could have been like with all the executions there, then takes us off into the damp, dark, underground vaults of Edinburgh, where only the faintest of sounds from the city above can be heard. That room over there, it has all these cubby holes because wine cellars used to store their wine here. Then it was turned into a tavern, but it's said that body snatchers hid bodies here. Imagine being poor and desperate to get out of the sewage-filled streets under here. What would you do? Well, it's said that Burke and Hare would get their victims, store them here overnight, then sell their bodies to medical for practice for a pretty hefty profit. However, there's never been any proof. But this was near a graveyard and a medical school. Many people have heard thick, heavy footsteps here of Mr. Boots in this room. He was a man who murdered a woman, kept her body in his house. He hates people who tour the vaults. Mr. Boots is said to get angry if anyone sits in the spot where he hid the body. It's also said that if you say his name 3 times, he appears. So maybe we shouldn't say it again. Other entities are not known to be as terrifying as Mr. Boots, such as over here in the cobbler room. The cobbler is said to stand between the doorways and look sinister, but smiles as people pass. The shoemaker is said to be a short, stocky fellow with a friendly demeanor. Now let's go upstairs and see some of the artifacts. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for something a little more lighthearted now. Let's check out the souvenirs. Look at the flag with the unicorn on it. Did you know the unicorn is Scotland's national animal? That tells you about the people that live here. They are pretty awesome. Did you pick anything out from the gift shop? I think I'm gonna get this what are words? Deck of playing cards, that's what it is, because I really liked this, the Edinburgh Castle, and each card has this on it. Isn't that cool? I think I'm gonna get this deck of cards. Maybe we can play cards before we go to bed tonight. And I'm gonna get some postcards too. Which ones should I get? There's a whole bunch of different ones to choose from. I'm gonna get this one, and this one, this one. I wanna get them all. Can we do that? No, okay. That's not practical. All right, fine, I'll get these. Okay, so I'm gonna get this one. It has the unicorn on it, and who doesn't love unicorns? And can you believe it's the Scottish national animal. The Edinburgh closes. I loved the Edinburgh closes. How did you feel about them? A Heart of Midlothian. Oh, Edinburgh Waverley. The train station is so cool. It's huge. The ceilings are so high. I was a little bit overwhelmed. And then I'm gonna get this because it has that cool picture of the Edinburgh Castle on it. So, oh, okay. So I guess it's closing time, but it looks like they have a website if you want to visit the website. I'll put it in the description down below.
Too late to set your heart free. Today's a day, so